What is going on today, YouTube? Today we're going to be taking a look at the Canon R50V. This is going to be a first impressions video on the Canon R50V. Now, if you're not familiar, this is probably Canon's cheapest mirrorless camera right now. You can get this on sale for about $569 on the Canon website, Amazon, Best Buy, pretty much anywhere you can get this camera from. It is on sale for $569. So I decided to pick one up. I was looking for a new camera to do all of my YouTube videos on without having to completely just get my R6 Mark II out every time, because if you haven't already seen my R6 Mark II, it's big, it's got a battery grip, cage, everything like that. It just wasn't really like something I wanted to carry around all the time. So we ended up getting this because of that sale, and check that out. This thing is super tiny, and it is definitely going to make content in YouTube a lot easier when it comes to just overall not having to lug around something big. First impressions of this camera, it does look very nice. It's very small. I'm not really a big fan of the grip. It barely has a grip, if you can see there. I mean, my fingers are kind of cramped up on it, which we don't have to really worry about. We did pick up a small rig cage for this camera, which again makes that grip a lot better. So I will get this installed in just a second. But going back to it, this camera is very video focused. I originally got this for an everyday carry, not for just video, but for photos as well. And this camera does have all the same photo features as the regular R50. It just has a lot more video features as well, like the 10-bit video and stuff like that. The regular R50 does not have those video features. This does do 4K 60, although with the crop, it'll do 4K 24. It does have C-Log 3, which is what I like to film in a lot of the times, especially for these videos here. But yeah, it's got an articulating screen that folds out. Now, something I did like about this camera was the fact that whenever you do turn it on, whenever you put it into portrait mode, all of your stuff on the screen flips. Now, we've seen this before, like my R6 Mark II does this. If I'm looking through the viewfinder, it'll do this, so it doesn't just do it on the regular screen. But I didn't think I was gonna like it as much, but I can definitely tell that I like it a lot more now that I've been using it. It makes everything easier. But yeah, there's no viewfinder on this camera, I've noticed, which for a video focused camera, I can kind of see why they wouldn't put a viewfinder on there. But at the same time, me wanting to carry this as an everyday camera, I wish that it did have a viewfinder. But at the same time, I could have just bought the R50 and gotten that viewfinder. Yeah, we do have a 1/4-20 mount right here on the side, which I thought was pretty useful. This having it on the side, which I'm going to put a cage on it anyway, so it really doesn't matter, but that allows you to actually just mount this on a tripod in portrait mode. And I use this camera for a lot of my TikToks and stuff, or I'm going to be anyway at the time of recording this. And so I think that's a nice little welcome if you didn't want to put a cage on there. Now, if we pop the lens cap off this, this is an APS-C size sensor, so it is a little bit smaller than a full frame sensor on what I'm used to. So the only thing with that is I have to take in consideration the 1.6x crop factor it's going to have on all of my lenses. Another thing that I did notice right off the bat is the hot shoe does not have pins for like a flash, so you'd have to buy, Canon actually makes an adapter, because I don't think the R50 has one either for whatever reason. But if I did want to actually control my strobes whenever I'm taking a photo with this, I would have to buy that adapter. I don't think I ever plan on using this with my strobes. I'll just use my bigger camera for that. Also notice, like, you do have a toggle wheel here for the zoom. If you put a power zoom lens on here, it does have the power zoom rocker, which is real nice. Has a ton of custom buttons. One thing that I do like about this camera is that it's got a record button on the front. So when I'm filming these talking heads, I don't have to reach around the back. I can just hit that front record button, and it is nice and big and illuminated, if you can see right there. Or not illuminated, but it's red. You also get a tally light right here. I know the last time I was making content, the last camera that I was mainly using for it was a Canon 250D, which is a DSLR, which was giving me wonderful quality, but it didn't have a bunch of things, and it didn't shoot in 4K and have good autofocus, and it had a crop. But yeah, you'll notice like we have a dial here on the back side right here, but it also doubles as like a button, so you can map those to whatever you want. You have 2, 3 buttons back here that you can map. You have one on the top that you can map, and then you have that video scroll reel for the modes or whatever, and those are pretty much all video focused except for the one that is for photos. So I think that's pretty cool. On the side you do have, if we look, let me get this door open. So you have a mic input here, you have a headphone input, and then a trigger input for whatever you'd want to put a trigger on here for. I don't really see why you'd want to do that. Under that you have a USB-C port and a micro HDMI. Again, I don't really use monitors, so I don't really, probably not going to use that. I'm probably going to use this camera to go live on TikTok or YouTube or whatever, so I will use that USB-C port because this is a great live stream camera. But let me go ahead and put this cage on real quick, and we will see what that looks like on here. Okay, so we have the cage on the Canon R50 now, or R50V, my bad. So yeah, I got the white one, or the silver one, whichever one you want to call it, and I will say that grip feels a million times better now. I'm going to do a separate video on this cage, just showing different features of it and everything, but just know it fits really good. It's padded where it needs to be, where it touches the body, and it does have like extra cold shoes and a NATO rail and stuff like that. So the bottom is Arca Swiss. That's the main reason I add cages to all my cameras, is the fact that the bottom of them is Arca Swiss. That way I don't have to put an Arca Swiss plate on there. But yeah, this was my first impressions of the Canon R50V. If you are thinking about getting this camera, I will say that I do think that it is a nice camera for especially content creation, and at that $564 mark, it is kind of unbeatable whenever it comes to that price point. So I think this is going to go really well alongside my Canon R6 Mark II, and yeah, I look forward to testing it out and doing all kinds of stuff. If you're wondering what this video is filmed on, this is filmed on the Extra Muse, or the DJI Pocket 3 clone, or whatever. So if you like the look of this, that is what is being filmed on today. But anyway, this was my first impressions of the R50V, and we will be making a lot of content on this video, or on this camera. And I already make a lot of content on this camera when it comes to TikTok. If you want to swing over there, my handle is the same, 115Chandler1. But I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.